Are you ready to party? Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody, to our December monthly review. You have myself, Tim Fisher.
Evan Nelson.
Sam Kamalafe.
And Jordan Jamiola.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is the first time we've all been back in a while. But before we get started, I would like to say, if you can and you like our podcast and what we're doing, please go on to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review and a cool comment. Also, subscribe and follow our videos on YouTube. Really appreciate it. How'd that go? Was that good?
That was
Fantastic.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
All of the above.
Like
Beautiful.
and subscribe.
Now we can get back into it. But first, also, before we get started, this is December, and I wanted to get you guys a little gift just to say thank you for all the hard work you guys are putting into this podcast, even though I do 90% of it.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we
I appreciate you guys just showing up. It makes it no, but seriously, this podcast wouldn't be what it is without you guys. This takes a team. I don't care that I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but really, it does take everybody who's here to keep this going, especially with the personalities and what we talk about and bringing people on and who's filling in, who's not filling in. This podcast wouldn't be what it is without you guys. So, with that being said, I want you guys to open the white gift first. No racial.
Ring that bell.
That shit.
All right. So go ahead and open it up. I got you guys all kind of pretty much the same thing. Yeah, check it out. What do you guys think?
Ooh.
Check it out. Someone say what it is. Someone say what it is.
A warm note to say thank you. Realizations. We strive to create products you love, so your feedback means a lot.
So this is kind of like a mind journal. This is pretty cool. And it actually, instead of being like a blank journal, it's 4 men. It leads you through each day. So it'll tell you prompts like 3 things that you are grateful for today.
Yeah.
What are your intentions for today? What are your plans for? It just kind of goes through, helps you do more self-realization, looking at yourself. I find that journaling helps a lot. I have something that leads me like that too, called the Mind Journal.
Dude.
I put down all my ideas in there and write every day. Like after I surfed yesterday, I spent, I think, freaking 30 minutes writing.
Bro.
So just for you guys, because I know we always talk about the therapy stuff, and I think it's huge. And I think putting down your thoughts on paper, if you have time, is massive. So that being said, open the other one.
Bro.
Dude, this is awesome.
Dude, yeah, thank you so much, dude.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's funny because
About
I
mental
have
health. Is
have
someone's
a-
mic shaking?
Oh.
I'm just excited to be here.
No, I hear like a rocking. I'm like, what is that?
Let's see. What is this? Ooh.
Check it out, boys. What do you got? Hold it up.
Oh.
Keep opening it.
Oh. It's a
Shalori?
What? Shalori?
I don't know what that
You're
is.
going to have to keep opening it, John.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, keep going. Don't stop.
Don't stop. Don't stop getting.
Nice camera change,
You
Jim.
know what's
I like
funny
that.
is I was thinking the same song.
Right? Yeah, cool. All right, let's see. Oh.
Bang. What's up?
Oh, man. Oh.
Let's go. Let's
Dude.
go. Let's go.
Oh, is this a...
Oh, shit. Is this...
Oh, shoot, dude.
What's up, boys?
What's up?
Something to escribe. That's Spanish for...
I got you guys some nice pens.
Oh, dude.
And I'll just say your pens cost more than your fucking journal.
Dude, it has a leather sheath.
I know, it's
Dude.
I don't... Can you... Does it just pull out?
Yeah, just
I'm
pull
getting
it
some
out.
tension.
Pull it
I don't
out.
want to
Hey,
break it.
oh, you have to...
I don't know.
The metal thing right here. You have to pull that
There you
through.
go.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah. But...
Oh, so it stays
break
in the sheath. Yeah, well...
It's a bolt action pen. It looks like
Oh,
a fucking
shit.
bolt action.
Oh, looks like a 50 cal.
Look at this.
Dude, that's legit.
Isn't that rad?
It's like a bolt. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys got extra cartridges in there. So
Oh, dude, thank you.
Bro, thank you so much.
yeah, enjoy, guys. I'm really big on writing things down and getting stuff out of my head. It helps me a lot. I'm not going to force you to do that, but it's just to encourage you. Find time for yourself.
Dude.
Write, be creative, put down your ideas, but also get out your thoughts. It's really cool.
Bro, this is so dope.
thank
Thank
you
you,
so
man.
Yeah, I try to get
Wow.
presents you can use, things
Yeah.
you can do that's going to help you and build you,
I love these because they fit together. You know, we got the journal and then we got this fucking dope ass pen.
Right. This
This is
definitely
bad.
the coolest pen I've ever
hell yeah.
owned.
Absolutely,
Really?
guys.
Dude, honestly... Oh.
Oh, what?
What?
Why are you breaking the rules, man?
Dude, my phone's on silent. That was sorry. That's set up for work. That's my bad.
No, you're
Oh,
good.
dude, honestly, it's funny because I actually do this. Like, I have a guided journal too. But the thing is like I was just getting done with mine, so I was about to get what's up, dude. I'm like, bro, and like honestly, everything that you're saying, I'm like, I fucking love this. This gift means.
I have found a difference in myself when I actually go from being stressed, frustrated, happy, or whatever in life, and doing therapy to actually getting my thoughts down, whether they're good, bad, whatever, on paper. But then having something guide me through, it reminds me you have a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget you still have a lot you've done and accomplished, but let's work through what you're going through now. And it's really cool how it kind of guides you and stuff. So
I love it.
I hope you guys enjoy. I really hope I know we're all busy, and that's one thing my therapist has taught me is to slow down. Give yourself some time to yourself to write and do other things that you like doing. So I hope this is useful. I hope it helps you out. Put down ideas for the podcast, whatever you guys think.
Fuck yeah.
We'll go from there.
This is my favorite pen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really
Cool.
No worries,
very
guys.
Thoughtful. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love you, boys.
Dude, I love you, man.
This is a team, man. If Danielle was here, I would have, I don't know, got her a cake to make us stay in the kitchen, woman.
Oh man, she's
gonna
not
hear
here to
this
defend
and
herself,
message
but she is going to be pissed at that one.
Yep. Most definitely.
we love you, Danny. Miss you. Oh, God, don't kill me. Anyways, let's
Chris
get into...
probably laughed, though.
Oh, she'll laugh.
For sure.
She's also going to say, fuck you in her van.
Yep.
Okay, well, this is our December monthly review, so let's get into it. We have a lot that has been going down, and even today some stuff came out with, I'm just going to touch on it real quick. I thought it was very interesting that I wake up and see the news, and the New York Police Department evidence warehouse burns down. Just leave that out there. That's real interesting.
But Tim, what? Why would that happen?
Who knows? Maybe there's something in there people don't want to find.
Yeah, like 30 years of DNA evidence.
Conspiracy theory.
I know. Well, they don't make it like they don't make it any easier not to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, hey, this actually was an accident. It's like, no, nothing comes out. Like, even if you're gonna lie about it, you're like, hey, it was electrical, whatever, something. It was like, how are we gonna sell?
But
this?
here's the thing: is it's so blatant. And things are the conspiracy theories, and whether you want to believe them or not, like some of the stuff happening, like the New York Police Department warehouse, it's so blatant that they probably think no one's gonna believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
You know, you get what I like. I'm saying like it's so obvious. They're like, no one will believe it, dude. Just let it burn.
Well, it's I think like for like a casual news listener or just anyone who stays up with current events, like that's something that I think could be like pushed aside as like, oh man, that's terrible that happened. Like what, probably accident occurred that created that. But it's like it's coming on the back end of a year where we've had a lot of weird things like that. It's like, what was it? We're up to like 200 or 300 like massive like agricultural facilities, distribution centers, things like that. That just like, I mean, these massive implications of fires that like burn down these spots, right? And again, right, it builds up. It's like all off of like we're coming out of COVID.
Yes.
And then we're coming out of like inflation. We're coming out, well, not out of really inflation yet, but either way, all these implications, right? And now it's like another thing. And it's like, what's been going on currently, right? Which we'll touch on some of that stuff later. But like, it's like, how could you not go, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's really convenient.
I think that's why.
Right.
I think that allows us to, because everything that's been happening is like, what, really? What? And then now this, just another thing, So I think that the typical, viewer of the news would probably push it aside. Yeah. But now it's a perfect time to be like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Too many things are just stacking on top of each other. It's just like, okay, this is too much of a coincidence.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
It's freaking wild.
Right before Christmas, too.
I know.
Because you know what's going to
so
happen?
crazy.
Something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the next week.
Yeah. Yep.
And then,
Beginning to look.
I don't know. Yeah, right.
Well, we'll get into that because there's so much that has happened. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
man.
But, okay, so the first thing we want to get into is Twitter files. I think you're going to take that away, Jordan.
Which is actually the ESPN thing. Pad betting. No, so the Twitter files, right? That started about a week and a half ago. So basically, if anyone hasn't heard of this, what occurred was with the takeover of Elon Musk into Twitter, there had always been this kind of like, is he going to release stuff that talks about the censorship and basically everything that we've gone through when it comes to social media and blocking of information, whether you agree with it or not, but silencing information, right? And I think from the conservative standpoint has been, they've consistently been shutting people down, booting people off Twitter, Trump and all these other kind of conservative pundits.
Right.
Whereas, then from the right side, it's been like, see, they're doing this on purpose. They're working with so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Then the other side's like, no, we're not. That's crazy. You're nuts if you think this. We're just trying to not incite violence.
Yeah, like the gaslighting and everything.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, flash forward to about a week and a half ago, Elon Musk came out stating that he was going to release the Twitter files, but what he was going to do was he was going to utilize journalists that he picks to disseminate the information and let that person, which in this case was Matt Taibbi, which is a very popular journalist, which
really good journalist too.
Very good one nonetheless, right? So it's kind of picked somebody who's really in the middle, that's going to display what the information was. So in that process, and without going line by line, it was basically stating that there was a lot of communication between the government and Twitter on like, hey, initially going after Trump as far as, everything building up towards the January 6th event, and like, hey, we need to pull him, da-da-da-da-da. Well, finally there was action and actually a paper trail of these interactions between the two companies, or between the government and the company.
Right.
Whereas then once they got the initiation of pulling Trump, now it started to be like, if someone starts chirping, governmental representative hits up Twitter, Twitter goes, hey, we got it. We'll take care of it. Right. So now we have this like
slippery slope.
Well, I mean, it's absolutely, because now you have a government entity working with, if not the biggest, but one of the biggest social media outputs that controls a lot of the narrative of the news or what gets pushed out there. So again, it's like kind of I get, I've heard this a couple times, so I don't want to butcher this, but it's like almost like it's not a conspiracy when 6 months later it's confirmed, right? Which seems to be not with everything, and it's not with everything, but there's a lot of things that seems to be correlating with. And in this case, the Twitter files and how they've been releasing the stuff, it's basically been like confirmation of what the kind of thought process of it is. So then it leads to the next question, right? It's like, okay, so like, what do you do?
That's my biggest question is, I know I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't think what Twitter did was right. I believe in free speech. I don't care if you don't agree with what I agree with or not. No one should be suppressed. That's the great thing about this country. And a lot of men and women have died for that right. Now, when you have one party blocking another and then a government getting involved trying to tell a company to not let certain things get out, now there's an issue there.
Right.
Now, it is a private company. They can do what they want, but it shouldn't be influenced through government.
Right.
That's where you have a huge problem. So my question is with this, just kind of like yours, I'm sure everybody else's, is will somebody in the government be held accountable and have punishment for this, get jail time?
Probably not. Like, again,
that's my
it's
thought.
Like, yeah, it's like as far as like as much as like you want to have accountability. Again, people higher up in government are probably like, if anything, they'll get a slap on the wrist, but it's not going to be that. And like the thing is like the whole entire like working with the government, like people from like high ups from Twitter were actually having like weekly meetings with the FBI. That was happening. So. And then gaslighting the public, saying is like, oh well, no, we're not shadow banning. We're not like, oh, what Trump did warranted his like banning off of Twitter. And quite literally, they did the actions and then they tried making up the excuse for those actions after the fact. They didn't actually have valid proof to actually ban Twitter or ban Trump from Twitter.
Right. Well, because they try to utilize the verbiage of Twitter's policies, right? So like if they're stating like, don't incite violence, like that's a big one, right? So it's like if you're gonna, anybody who's posting something to talk about like physically hurting somebody or whatever, right? That's going to get you pulled. And that was consistent up until a couple years ago.
Right.
Which is, I mean, even in that is very debatable when you have like some pretty prominent figureheads that are very aggressive with their speech, and I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about like other world leaders.
Yeah,
I mean, the
saying, like,
fucking
death,
leader, the
like,
Ayatollah.
yeah,
was,
saying death
or
to
the
Israel,
Ayatollah,
basically.
yes,
Yeah.
is on there and not getting banned,
Yeah.
right? So it is a slippery slope, and it is a crazy thing. But what ends up happening in this is, and I completely agree, I don't think anything will come of it as far as like accountability and like getting in trouble, because like
Right.
when you know, because if I was like, if you were to post something about me and say like, hey, Jordan's he's a dangerous person and blah 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 blah, like I would think there's somewhere legally that I can pursue some legal action against you, because that would be libel or slander, right? To
Right.
these
Yeah.
to these extents. Now, because it's coming from the upper part of the government agency and or even the FBI to a certain point, right? Like what, like who's going to go after them? You know what I mean? And I think, but I also feel like it's like the built-in side of a game plan. Like you're dealing with something that's never occurred in human history. You have these new things that we're constantly facing that we know there's no game plan for them. There's we either follow the laws of the Constitution and whatever other laws are written about social media, not that the Constitution talks about social media, but you know what I mean? Like you either have fundamental rights that you can lay back on, or we're kind of in this new found system where it's like, well, what do we do? You know, and I think because we're in that, like, we really don't know what to do. You know, we can rule it by principle or like say, hey, this is wrong, blah, blah, blah. Or now what'll end up happening is they'll go, see, I told you it was happening, but there won't be any accountability for it. So like, I mean, I guess the best case scenario right now is, in my opinion, is to be able to at least write the rules for it and have something moving forward.
Right.
You know?
I think in terms of consequences, though, no, there aren't going to be any consequences. I think a lot of the time we forget that government controls media, and specifically the Democratic Party controls media. Right. You know, they're the progressive, and I get why, you know, because, you know, our society is constantly moving, you know, so that's the party that, you know, basically controls what we hear and what we see on television. Right. So I don't see any type of repercussions based on that. But I mean, it's yeah, dude. Like releasing that, I think, is what allows us to be like, oh my god, you know, this is crazy. I think we know. We know that, you know, the government controls everything.
It's like I was having this conversation the other day. It's like everything comes down to like social acceptance or like deviation of what is like construed as normal.
Right.
But if you do it for long enough, that becomes the new normal. Mm-hmm. So like in this case, it's like, okay, well, we spent a few years where if you were counter narrative to whatever mass media was pushing out, you were labeled as a psycho,
right,
a
conspiracy
theorist,
yep.
and you just hate everything that's not what you want, right? And I think that went on long enough to where people kind of have this like social acceptance that there are people that disagree with what the narrative is, and if you were cool with the narrative, you're going to dismiss that whether they're true or not.
Right.
And sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, and then there are like the people that accepted that narrative, and then pretty much they didn't like. Again, no one likes being wrong, but again, believing in the wrong thing. But then it's like people double down on that because it's like, well, no, I gotta stick to it because I have to believe in it because pride is too much involved with it at that point.
Right.
So, yeah. Politics and religion, man. Same thing,
dude. Right.
Yep.
Like if you take one form of like I don't know. Like to me, the one thing that stands out the most in like all of this is like for all the crazy shit, not even COVID, not even all this stuff. Like you had that laptop, right? You have the laptop, the Hunter Biden laptop. That is something that has been out there for a long time. It's been, I mean, essentially confirmed by multiple parties, whether it's right or wrong, but it does exist. And there's a lot of implications of that, of like basically money laundering. And like the one thing that the United States founded itself on is the fact that if you try to cheat the system against money, you're going down. And I think we were talking about that last time. It was like we talked about how powerful Al Capone was. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that Al Capone killed people and was a main crime syndicate and extorted and did all this bad stuff. It was because he didn't pay his taxes.
Yeah, they got him on taxes.
Like that's what got Al Capone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
and then syphilis got him. But
Yeah.
well, I mean, that's really what got him.
Put a Jimmy on, baby.
I was like, gotta be smart, dog.
Yeah, bro.
But but like so now it's like, okay, so we have this like modern day, like just information that's out there that would implicate the sitting president's family and potentially the president of the United States getting cuts of business deals that was made by his son. You take anyone else, anyone in the last 20 years as a president, as a right or left, that would be some hard shit to try to get through, and it would be a focal point of predominantly everyone looking at it. But because of the ability to manipulate the information coming out, because of these situations like Twitter, where they're able to, like, specifically to the Hunter Biden laptop story, they were able to stymie that for so long. You know, I mean, it was it MSNBC or one of the big media? They can't. This is like 3 weeks ago. They're like, hey, yes, you know, it actually exists. This is a thing.
Well, I think it was,
you know, but we're looking into it. You know, and I was like, that was like 2 years beyond the point. So what I'm going with it, I just think that reaffirms the reality of is that even though this kind of information can come out, the ground has been set, the minds have been set. It will take something extreme to be able to reset the minds of everyone. Not when I say reset, I don't mean like just make you forget about everything, but at least to give you an opportunity to create a new opinion about it.
Yeah,
where you say
a new perspective.
Yeah, right. And I don't think that the way things have been going, I'm not positive that will do anything. You know, I guess my only hope is that what we can do is create an atmosphere that moving forward that there is accountability within it.
Yeah.
And now I think that might even be a
the
a
interesting
long shot to
thing with,
do that. You know?
Yeah, the interesting thing with Twitter, I was reading a lot on this, is the head of trust and safety, that Yoel Roth guy.
Oh, yeah.
Is that how you say his name, Yoel?
Yeah.
Roth?
So
It's almost like this dude was single-handedly in charge of what could get snuffed and what wouldn't. And he pushed down. So he was the one who was in contact with the FBI and a lot of political officials. And dude, if they went through his tweets, dude, this guy had some crazy stuff he tweeted about. Right here is one that caused an uproar. Can a high school student ever meaningfully consent to sex with their teacher?
What?
Like, bro, what are you putting it out there for? And then, since he's the head of trust and safety, he put out a tweet after something went down with porn. He said, "Twitter will live to porn again another day!" ! Think I just yelled loudly at work.
This guy's weird.
He's happy there's porn on Twitter. It's just kind of interesting. I'm thinking, this is who is in charge of what's going to be let out and what's not. And he's banning other people for things that are way less sensitive than that. It's just weird.
Yeah, and I think, but that's where this is hard, is that it's whatever your fundamental moral foundation is. I mean, that's what it boils down to. And as a private company, they have the ability to control that. You know, so it's like at the end of the day, they're not a public utility. We don't tax money based doesn't go to fund Twitter, right? That's why they can essentially say, yeah, well, if you don't like it, go to another platform. You know, but it's like this weird situation. I mean, like Facebook's the same way, right? It's just socially accepted. Like businesses are run through it, government agencies run through it, they post through it, all this stuff. But they're still, at the end of the day, which I'm sure there's a reason there, but they remain private because in these situations, I mean, look, at the end of the day, they can say, yeah, we suppressed all of it. We wanted so-and-so to win, or we want so-and-so to win in the future, and we're going to continue to do that. Now, you run the risk as that entity of being like, well, you might outcast half of your followership and maybe get a massive pay reduction. But at the end of the day, they could do that. But the ground that they lay is that they are this open forum, this town square, this ability to be able to have free speech. And as crazy as that shit is when people post stuff like that,
he's allowed to put it up.
I mean, you can put it up.
I mean,
you know,
can put it up. Yeah. And what's really wild about this is that the founder of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, and some other people went before Congress, testified under oath that they were not doing any of that, and now it's all coming out.
So that's like the like,
dude. I'm like, yo, bro.
Well, again, right now we'll see. We'll see how, because it's like, okay, if they if you testify again I guess, and like I don't know what form of law this is. I'm not an expert in that by the least, but to me that sounds official, right? You're like you're lying under oath.
So if I take it as if we were all, one of us was to go to court and under oath and we testify and lie.
Yeah.
And then it comes out a few years later that you did lie, you can be held accountable for that, from what I understand, depending on what has happened with that case.
And it depends on the pursuit of the other party.
True.
Right? Or like whoever's pursuing you.
But you got to think, that's Congress.
No, I know that. But again, I'm not trying to dismiss any of this because of the reality. To me, like I'm just trying to talk about it without sounding like the crazy person in the room. Because like I'm like, see,
right?
You know, like if this was any of us, say goodbye forever.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we won't see you in 40 years if I make it that long. You know what I mean? So like, but if you're lucky enough to be in a position of power, then you're accountable without being accountable. You know what I mean?
It's going to be interesting to see how this all falls out because I hate or like Elon Musk. I think he saved free speech personally, coming in and just knocking that out. But I also read something that they're thinking he's doing this because of his daughter, right? Or he has a transgender child or something like that.
So there's a couple of things that have come, and this is in the last couple of days.
Yeah,
right?
I can see him. He's on a rampage. Dude.
So he made a comment talking about woke culture and that he won't stop until woke. And I'm paraphrasing. I don't know the exact quote, but it was essentially stating that if he's going to stop woke culture because he thinks it's bad for the society moving forward, right? But that was
I agree with him.
But that was, and I do too. But I think that was piggybacked off of like. There was some other things out there that like he might have a transgender child and that maybe whatever, and there's not super descriptive, so like we don't know, like maybe he feels, and this is assumptions, but it's like maybe he feels like the social influence of different things caused the decision making of his child, which is something we've talked about on here a lot, right? Like so when it comes to children and that type of behavior, you know, it's like you look at the social influences. Well, we know that online there's a ton of that, you know, so maybe now it's like for him, all of a sudden now he's got a stake in this, right? Yeah. So it's like maybe he doesn't like the idea that it's like, okay, well, my kid's making these decisions and we don't know what those decisions are. Is it a daughter that because he's got like kids with like a bunch of different chicks.
One of them.
So right. So it's like you don't know with that dude. Ring the bell, dude. Nick's on 9, baby.
Army.
I was like, he almost has a football team,
right?
Dude. Straight up.
Almost got a squad.
Yeah. You know, but it's like, you know, now that's an interesting standpoint that now you have the dude that owns Twitter who's predominantly been very progressive. I mean, just look at his businesses and everything throughout his life. And it hasn't, I mean, he's been outspoken about how I wasn't a Trump supporter. I've always been a Democrat and this and this and this. But now it's like he kind of brings a little bit more of a commonsensical type approach, however you take that. But, you know, now it's like, oh shit, I wonder if that's impacting him personally.
Definitely.
You know, because it's like, is his kid that's transgender, are they on puberty blockers? Are they doing certain things? And maybe now he's seeing the other side of this where he's in a position where it's like, I'm going to try to stop this from moving forward.
Well, it's messed up. I'm going to say it right now. I think teaching children that stuff is wrong. Let someone who's 18 years old and of sound mind make their own decision. Don't force it on kids. Now, you guys remember that article I sent you?
Yep.
Of the Navy SEAL who's detransitioning back?
Yeah.
And what he said about how they're, I guess, shaping, molding the doctors, the VA.
Yeah.
I mean, the culture, everything is pushing for it. Yeah, we're going to celebrate this. Do it.
Yeah.
You know, become whatever.
Right.
And now he's like, he said it's the biggest mistake of his life.
It ruined his life.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
That's so. There's a handful of really good like interviews and stuff with people who have detransitioned or in the process of detransitioning and the reasons why. A lot of them are based on like medical conditions, and like one of them, like especially with like, I think it was like female to male.
Yeah.
With having like the issues with the new junk that they make for them, like tons of like one of them I was watching this.
You mean when you say junk, you mean testicles?
Penis. Actually.
Penis. Okay.
So
I'm gonna say they can't tell. I was like, are they putting fake testicles on?
The process at which they make it, using the skin and everything from down there to reshape to make the new member. There we go.
Hey.
Like they're having issues with like growing hair from inside the new urethra,
and it's
like,
getting infected, right?
Just massive infections constantly, and there's nothing that like at that point, I'm sure, and especially this is all very new still, you know, even though it's been happening for a long time and stuff, but like they don't have it nailed out. It's not like getting your tonsils removed, you know what I mean? It's been happening for a long time, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, we made you a new dick.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll let's see how it goes. You know, and I'm sure there's some success cases where the person's happy with it moving on, but the reality is in that process, because it is a new thing, that you could be a person like this where you're constantly struggling, constantly having medical implications from it.
Yeah.
And then now the risk gain, right? You know, and these are adults. This isn't talking about children.
Right.
You know, which again pushes the for me, it just I agree with you. I can't believe that this is like something that's like not social, because I don't think it's socially accepted yet. I think it's just something that we see online a lot that's pushing it like this is the new normal. I don't think we're there yet, but I think this is the attempt to try to make that new, you know, this is normal behavior now, you know.
I think that's again, it's online and it's like the loudest voices, right? But if you go about like it just like in regular everyday life and all, and you talk to people about it, majority of the people are on the same page of like, okay, this is going a little too far. So but also as far as like with the health concerns too, it's like if you're going like female to male and all, and like going on testosterone, and it's just like the amount of testosterone that you need to go on and everything is like that, like when you're pumping like unnatural hormones into your body, it's gonna like there are gonna be medical implications later down the road that like you're gonna get that you may not have gotten if you didn't go through with it.
There's also surgery, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And then all those things, the psychological implications are insane, you know? So I think what you mentioned, it's funny how like there are psychologists that are like, yeah, this is what you need to do. You know, that's good for you. And then there are also ones that are like, whoa, like you need to figure out where you're even going, you know? Because when you get there, like that Navy SEAL, when you get to that point where you're like, I don't know, I made a mistake. Then you're like, oh my God, why did I do this?
And I didn't read, but did he have his stuff chopped off?
I didn't read if he was post.
I didn't
Or did he do the Jenner thing and keep it?
I think
Jenner thing.
I would. I mean,
Right? Just in case.
Hold on, let me clear this up. Does Jenner still have a wiener?
Yes.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he took the final step.
What?
I could be wrong.
Somebody Google it.
Yeah, here.
Somebody
I'll
Google
look
it.
it up. I'll look it up. Keep
Oh, I'm just saying, and why we talk about this, it is the forefront of a lot of conversations, and there's a lot of suicide in that community, which I think is terribly sad.
Yeah.
Because when you transition and you start cutting things off your body, there's no turning back.
Yep.
There is no going back. When a woman cuts off her breast and she's trying to be a man, or a man tries to be a woman and he cuts off their genitals get cut off, and you a few years later think, oh, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. Hey, you're in it to win it. There ain't no going back, man. So, you know, I'm not hating on people that want to do that. If that's for you, good for you. I don't, what you do with your life is what you do with your life. Where I have an issue is that we're putting this on children who are still learning, who are still trying to figure out who they are. They're growing in this atmosphere where they're just like being thrown sexual things. You can transition to this, you can do that. Like, stop. We need to protect our children. They're there to learn and get educated. We're talking basic education, reading, writing, math, all that stuff, social skills. Let them be children. Because I'll tell you what, if I try to make a decision at 10 years old, there's no way. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yep.
Kidding me? I was surfing and picking my nose, dude, and playing Contra.
Yeah.
Yep.
Contra.
Yeah, dude, old school. That's super old.
Old school.
So that's where I get kind of fired up with this. I see my friends who have kids, and I have my nieces and nephews. I have 8 of them, and they're so precious. Like, why are we taking away their innocence? And you can see, like, if you want to go after a culture or society, go after the kids. Start shaping and molding them because they're the future.
Yep.
Right. You know, it's like, no. And you're starting to see all this life. Okay, I'm going to bring up this one real quick. Then we'll transition here. But did you hear about... No, here's another one, okay? The top energy department official, what's his name? Sam Brighton. Have you seen that for the government? Bald-headed dude. He's a top energy waste official or something like that. He's got like felonies for stealing luggage.
3 of them.
Bald head, mustache, lipstick on, wears a dress. Now, that's cool. That's fine. But these are the people coming into our freaking government.
Wow.
With a felony.
Wow.
Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, they knew he stole, right? I believe he was hired even though he had that felony, right?
Yeah, one of them was recent.
Yeah, and he got another one. He had to,
I think he's had 3.
He finally resigned.
Oh, he did resign.
He did resign. He no longer works.
You know, and it's that's the I don't even know how to talk about it because it's like, yes, like at the basis of it, it's like, look, you can be
Sam. No, don't put the camera
Oh,
on me.
my bad. Oh my God.
Yeah, terrible dress.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't wear heels with that
Those-
thing.
I was gonna
Come
say
on,
those
like,
heels, though.
I'm not even into it. and
I'm
I
not
know
gonna-
that you
I'm gonna
don't
be
either.
real.
He's got
guys,
the bald
though.
look though.
He's wearing the red with the American flag heels. The American flag heels are fucking fire. You know?
Yeah, but the heels are good. It's the dress.
It's the heels.
the dress that's the problem.
Poor
bro.
choice. Poor choice.
And that's the thing, right? Is because it's like, look, and there was I don't know how he identifies himself or her.
Non-binary.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Whoa, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Non-binary. This is for everyone listening. You can't be non-binary in your own thing. Because being non-binary would put you in a subculture that would make you different from everyone else, thus rendering you binary from the rest of the group.
Hey.
I saw that in a meme and I wanted to say it. At
Can
some
I
point.
can I be super honest with you? I honestly don't even know what you're. I'm so lost right now. What you just said.
Okay, no, okay.
No,
So, there's a lot
it.
of talk within that community of like, are you binary, non-binary? Binary meaning like you're either a man or woman.
Right.
Non-binary meaning you fall under some other's category. But the argument against being non-binary is impossible. Like it doesn't exist. Like it's a dumb conversation because anything that says that you are different thus puts you in a subcategory, which makes you binary, which is not.
Right.
No, this is
exactly.
Good. It's good that you're saying this because every time I hear binary, non-binary, I think back to Interstellar and the conversations they had about all that, and I was always lost. I was like,
Science.
Have you guys heard there was a little clip that was going around. It was like an Australian. I think he was a comedian, but he was talking about how hard it is. He's like, could you imagine like how difficult it is explaining stuff like to kids? And he goes, you're talking about the birds and the bees and the bees, the birds with the birds that used to be bees, the bees that used to be birds, the birds that look like bees but act like birds, and the birds that used to be bees but they still have a stinger. I was like, I practiced that for a little bit.
that was
before I was
good.
gonna do
That was
that
good.
one because there was a lot to go with that one.
you
when I
memorized
heard
that well.
No, dude, I've watched it 1,000 times. It's
great.
because and he's like, yeah, he talks like this, so it's like super funny.
Talks like this.
He's like the birds and the bees, but still have a stinger.
Is that Jim Jeffries?
Jim Jeffries.
It might
I
be.
think,
It
dude,
sounds like him.
Again, like it's like
With that accent, yeah.
It sounds like an Australian. Like-
Australian accent, yeah.
Whatever it was, the clip
like
is
your God.
the clip is money.
wait, let's take on Liver King.
Oh,
That's a good transition, especially after what we just
Testosterone.
testosterone.
Now we're talking about the minimal man.
All right. So speaking of testosterone and health effects and all that, well, Liver
Get it.
King. So for those of you that don't know who the Liver King is, so he is this guy on social media. Guy, I'm like he is let's
Beast.
just say he's a
Bro.
meat missile. He's a meat missile.
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
unit.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
A meat missile?
A meat
I thought that meant something different, but you're right.
nah, very veiny, very vascular.
Yeah, this
You know?
this guy's abs has abs.
Dude, he's like
His abs
Yeah,
have
the
abs.
abs got abs.
Bro,
It's
so
crazy.
this guy, like again, if you were to look him up, it's like he wears cargo shorts, a backwards hat, a big burly beard, and he's just jacked to the gills. All right, so he like the thing with him is like he has this thing of like the 9 ancestral tenets that he lives by, and he eats liver and bull testicles and stuff, and this is what he does to stay jacked and everything. And then and like
Believed him.
oh yeah, and it's like this is what I do to like basically like essentially like saying that is like this is what I do to have the body that I have. But then it started coming up of like, oh, do you take steroids? Because quite clearly, if you see a picture of this guy's not natural, not at all.
There's no way
Not
you
at
can
all.
get to his level without taking some.
Right, but granted, here's the thing: he has a great physique. Like it's like this is like it is like a phenomenal physique. Steroids or no steroids, like this guy, like it's like obviously he's genetically gifted and he works hard, right?
Right.
So like again, I'm not going to take that away from him, but the problem that I have with him is that like he's been set like time and time again. He's been asked like, "Are you on steroids?" And he's like, I don't take the stuff. Never going to take the stuff. I've never have, never will, and everything. And like again, very, very like assertively saying this and all, and even bringing it up himself, and then pretty much like making like mocking jokes of like, oh, I'm not on steroids, blah blah blah. And then it comes out like earlier this month. So a leaked email basically saying that like him going to a coach saying, hey, this is the stuff that I'm on. Turns out he's like on $12,000 worth a month of steroids, HGH, testosterone, like some peptides, all this stuff and everything. And basically his intention with like his intention was to actually gain a following and pretty much like mislead people and everything, and basically sell his supplements, because like that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have a problem with anybody being on steroids or being on HGH. I'm like, dude, you do you. That's the thing that like I'm like, that's your body, your choice, right? So focus, like just. Hey! I was like, so I'm like, I don't care what you do with your body, man. Like, so it's like if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, and if that helps you feel good and all that, and like you're down with the health effects that come later on in life.
Small penis.
There you go. No. Small balls. Small balls.
Yeah.
Small balls. It's like, but again, like, the thing is, like, if your balls are small, it makes your dick bigger.
Small
like,
balls.
If you eat,
like
if you ate bull testicles, though, then you get bull testicles.
Balls.
I feel stupid. I was like, yeah. Small penis.
So, but like, there's so many people that are like his primals or whatever he calls it. Like, basically he's saying it's like, oh, people that have like that have accused him of taking steroids. He's like, oh, they're subprimal and all that.
Yeah.
But liver is king and all that.
Yeah. What I want to point out, though, there are some things that, of course, he got right. You know, the 9 ancestral tenets. Those are there are several things that he does that are definitely beneficial for the body. Obviously,
Right. Nine ancestral what?
So they're the 9 ancestral tenets,
actually.
right?
Tenets?
Evan?
Yeah,
tenets.
What does that mean?
So there are things that we, the way we live our lives, that we can use to basically be healthy. Just generally speaking.
It's
so,
like 9 rules to follow.
Right. Get more sun, you know, eat at particular times, respect our circadian rhythms, things like that.
Right.
You know, those are definitely good. But I think what you're saying, Evan, is that by him basically saying, you know, I don't do steroids at all. And then, you know, basically it comes out that he does. And then now his apology is, well, the reason I was doing them was to highlight the fact that there are so many people in the world that die from them, you know? So
Yes.
I'm doing this to show you guys, you know, that it's
Nice.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. His thing about that is like, oh, well, I do this because, you know, like, and he blames it on like mental health and like
Right.
people killing themselves, and I do this because people kill themselves, and I want to look like, and the teenagers that look up to me, I do this because of that. Basically, he doesn't really apologize. He does that fake apology where it's like, I apologize that I did this. I got caught. Well, yeah, like I'm in a. Like, it's a complicated issue and all. It's like, no, it's not a complicated issue, dude.
And
like,
a lot of I
you
fucked
lied.
up.
Yeah,
I fucked up.
Yeah, it's like, dude, just come clean. But he
fucked up, guys.
apologized as Liver King. He didn't apologize as Brian Johnson, who
As a human, bro.
Yeah, so it's like he like apologized in the character and all.
Yes,
So it's like,
exactly.
honestly, like he's a WWE character basically. He's
Yes.
a caricature of a human.
So does he have millions of followers?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he has
Oh, yeah.
like 2 million, 3
2
million.
million, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
He's got a lot.
this guy creeped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was already jacked. He was already this, and then it was the push for the because. So there's a couple like in that community, and like, you know, like the carnivore doctor.
Yeah, dude.
Carnivore MD.
I think he's an ass.
Oh,
Sorry.
He's a personality. He's like, Kale's bullshit.
Yeah,
this is why.
It's like kale's bullshit. It's like protein. It's bullshit.
But here-
And like, but the thing is, like, I'm like, whatever, man. Like, I honestly, I think he's an ass. Like, I don't know. Like, when you're dogmatic about something, you know, I'm like,
That dogmatism, bro, it's a religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But he was another outspoken, right, like carnivore-based diet person who's, and I get it. I personally, it's for show, and it's to sell, and it's to gain traction. Of
course.
You know what I mean? So when this guy's coming up and like, and I follow both of them, and I like both of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're entertaining.
Entertaining.
But
yes.
you know, to hear someone coming through, like, so whether it's the Liver King talking about how he gains all of his strength through eating organ meat and all this stuff, or when you're talking about the carnivore MD, where it's just like he's on a carnivore-ish diet where he supplements with a little bit of fruit and a lot of organ meat and
honey.
honey and the natural stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which I think, like, look, whatever you adhere to is basically like non-processed. You know, it seems to be the key here in most of these like diets, but these, you know, their personalities associated with it. And side note, dude, if I lived in fucking Costa Rica and got to wake up and go surfing for 3 hours a day and lay in the sauna and do the cold plunge and basically start my day 6 hours into it and whatever it is you do other than cut videos, I feel like I'd be in fucking great shape.
I was saying you look pretty good too, bro.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, dude, life's great, you know, and kudos to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's rad. You got to, and he was a doctor for a long time, I think, and then, you know, you win. But the rest of us who have to work and don't have the time to do that, you know, it's like, fuck, man, that's tough to adhere by.
Yeah.
You still look good, Jordan.
Oh, hey, thanks, dude.
bro.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I was going to give you, hey, side note, Jenner.
Oh, it's off.
It's off from 2017. Hey,
2017.
and that's commitment, ladies and gentlemen. I tip my hat to you. But you're an adult. You made that decision. Fucking
yeah, I was
right
talking
on.
to somebody and they said he kept it.
So
Maybe in a box.
I mean, at that point, would you make a necklace? Right? It's like
Have a wax figure of that.
yeah, dude.
Pay homage to the wiener.
The 9 ancestral tenets.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's sleep, eat, move, shield, connect, cold, sun, and struggle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just
Why does struggle gotta be in there?
because it's
Part
a
of
good it's a good like it builds so many different things, whether
does,
it's from
but-
character based or personal growth. Like the
Right.
struggle is a good thing to a certain extent, no doubt. And I like the basis of what he
Yes.
promotes. Like he
Exactly.
talks about family and ownership and all this other stuff. So it's like,
But he doesn't
I'm like,
follow it.
I'm like, you
Right.
didn't even have to do that. He's like, it almost was because part of that email was talking about a plug for one of the sups that he's going to be doing for the ancestral supplements, right? So
Right.
it's going to be like, and believe me, I bought some organ meat supplements because I thought, hey, if it helps me out, I'll fucking take it.
Right.
And but again, it's like, why would you not just be like, yeah, dude, I take a bunch of shit. I'm 40. I look like this, which is better than most people are going to look in ever, right? Because it's not just taking steroids, having good genetics, having the dedicated lifestyle
ethic
to
and all
work
that.
out and
Yeah.
push yourself to make your body do what it does. It's not easy.
Right.
But you could have saved yourself all this bullshit because he lost a huge followership. A big
did he?
chunk.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna ask.
Yeah.
Did his numbers went down?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
big
he gets labeled as a farce. You know what I mean? It's because like this dude walking around being like, all he is bull testicles, and you have 2,000 fucking steroid counts. Like that's not true. It's not how this shit works.
So I have a lot to say. Like I get a lot, like a lot to say. So one, the 9 ancestral tenets. Like I agree with that too. Like I think that those actually are a good basis to live a good life. And like I don't have a problem with him promoting that. But the problem is that he's hypocritical in the fact that it's like, again, like he rallied so hard on that and he wasn't honest from the get-go, like you were saying. And honestly, if he was, that, like, I don't think, like, I think he'd still be like pretty damn big. Like people are like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, thank you for being honest. Because again, in this day and age, it's like, again, it's frowned upon if like you're a fake natty, and that's what he is, and so
Fake natty.
dude. Honestly, like
Gym talk.
dude, gym talk, yeah.
I was like, wait, the who? The
Fake natty,
So we
fake
got
natty,
in the
meaning
house.
like fake natural. But again, the one big problem that I also have with the Liver King too is that, again, when you're saying that you're natural and all, and you look the way that you do, which is obviously enhanced, again, I think about like, you know, my like 15-year-old self, right? And everything. It's like, oh, well, if I want to be like this, I'll have to start doing the things that he's doing. And again, giving yourself like a unrealistic like measure to go off of and everything. Is like, oh, I want to look like the Liver King when I grow up and everything. And then come to find out, like, you're doing all this stuff, and then you end up finding out it's like, oh, wait, so he's not natural? It's like, and then basically it's more kids like myself that end up doing pro hormones and shit because, hey, it's like, well, in order to look like the people that I idolize and everything, I gotta take stuff to look like them. Which again, like, and that's a personal thing for me too. So that's kind of a thing where I'm like, yeah, like I do have an issue when people are not honest and upfront about what they're taking. And like, honestly, I feel a lot better with someone who's telling me up front. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I'm taking this, this, and this. So this is the stuff that I'm taking. I don't like, or I know what health concerns that might consume me in the future, but this is what I'm telling you. But these are the things that I think that you should do in order to like get better in the gym without using the stuff as well.
Okay, but I don't know, man. I don't know if he gets this big without like, but you know, because
Not that big.
no. What I'm saying is like his social media following. Like I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know if you can you know, do what he's doing and then say, yeah, by the way, I take steroids, and then still continue to gain followers. I think the reason why, not the reason, but a big reason why he gained followers is, you know, by saying, yeah, I'm natural, but look at me. Look what you can do on a natural diet and just bull testicles and the tenets. You know, so I think that's how you gain that popular. I mean, yeah, of course, there's a lot of things.
It's like it's inflammatory and everything. So obviously you're gonna get a lot more eyeballs because like it's either gonna get a lot of people like, wow, look at this guy's physique, or you're gonna get a lot of hates and being like, this guy is obviously lying. And all, which again, I was in the camp of like, he's clearly lying.
Obviously.
It's like it's quite obvious. But again, not to everybody. There are some people that are just very, very gullible.
Which is what you're saying, like those 15-year-old kids that are seeing that.
Like
of
me,
course.
dude.
You're like,
I buy the organ meat pills that they was selling
How
because
are
I was
they?
like, I couldn't tell you any different. I was like, I took them for 2 months.
Oh,
I didn't feel a damn thing different. You know, it's like I didn't feel like my recovery was better. I didn't feel like I had more energy. I didn't feel like I slept better. I didn't feel anything.
So one thing about those though also is like it's good for.
I wish. I'm hoping. You know, clearly steroids.
I mean, there are benefits. You know, there are benefits to a high carnivore, high creatine. Because there's a lot of creatine in meat as well, right? So there are benefits to it. Right. You know, and I think a lot of people live off of it, which is fine. You know, they need it. And I mean, I was on a high protein diet for a long time, and I was like, oh, this is dope. You know, I feel good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think what you're saying, Evan, is utilizing that and saying this is all that I do.
Right.
And there's nothing else that can enhance my body that's artificial.
And actually, like I want to talk about a little bit about like the carnivore diet, or like again people who are pushing just like that dogmatic, like again like the carnivore MD or Liver King and all that. Now coming from it as a perspective of
thank you,
bless you, my son,
my child.
But coming from it from a perspective of being a nutrition coach, like and actually having like the certified, like again, like basically again, not to throw like my freaking like.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I know what I'm talking about, but
when his credentials out there,
I know this shit. I know this shit, but like the thing is that like again, like when you go like the problem that I have with carnivore diet is the same thing, or the same reason why I have a issue with like a vegan diet is about the restriction, and that it's not really realistic for the everyday person.
That hyperpolarity, bro. Like when you're all on one side.
Yes.
That's never right. Never good.
And like they're saying like, oh, kale is bullshit, or like carbs are horrible for you.
Please.
Or like, oh, this and that. It's like, oh, you can never have cake again. And all that. It's like you can never experience joy. It's like
I don't know if I want this.
yeah, it's like, oh, beer. Oh, hey, beer is bullshit. And it's like okay.
Nope.
It's like, listen, all right, now I know that alcohol is technically a poison, but again, in moderation, it's fine to have anything. So
exactly.
The gladiators fucking drank a lot of beer. They were pretty jacked before they died.
yeah.
You know.
So
I love alcohol.
But the thing, it's amazing. I love it. I love
That's
it.
the banner,
No one likes to
dude.
quit
I
it.
love alcohol. Tim Fisher, 2022.
But the thing is that it's like the focus, like the main focus is like find a diet that you can stick to and that's realistic for you in your life, and so it's like I don't think it's helpful for like people going on. It's like protein powder is bullshit or kale is bullshit. That's why I have a big issue with that guy. I was like, man, honestly, he's an ass. Fuck that guy. I'm like that's that. I'm like if he ever hears this, I'm like, listen, man, like
Please come on the show.
You're probably a cool
Got
guy.
like 1.5 million followers, Evan. Hold on.
Please come on the show.
Yeah, you're probably a cool guy. Like, listen,
I'm
you're probably
just
a cool
kidding.
guy. And
Fuck that guy. I'm in, Evan.
Like, yeah, no, but honestly, the bullshit that you peddle is bullshit. Like, so fuck you.
Yeah,
but
dude.
but at the same time, it's like you're probably a nice guy. We're probably gonna have a coffee or something if you drink coffee. I don't know. Like,
No, coffee's bullshit.
Oh shit! Damn, I forgot. I don't know. We'll probably share some.
All I'm gonna
full
say is,
testicles.
if you
I'll
go,
let you eat it.
dude, if you go on diets, please don't shove it down people's throats.
Yes.
I don't care if you're paleo, vegan. The one thing, it's like CrossFitters. They gotta let you know.
Yeah, man.
I haven't even. I don't even
Tell everyone about it.
I haven't asked about your exercise routine, what you eat. But the first thing you want to talk to me about, dude. So why aren't you vegan? How come you're not CrossFitting?
Yeah.
I don't
Because
eat that
people
trash.
like
I'm
you-
well, fuck you.
A vegan CrossFitter, man. That's the worst.
God.
That's the worst.
All emaciated,
Well-
doing those sloppy pull-ups.
The kippers. Yeah. Those are real kippers.
Hold on, you guys. Can we talk about this? When I see that stuff in the gym or on social media, those pull-ups, I just like, you guys are stupid.
Just flailing their
What the
bodies
hell
everywhere.
is that? Yeah.
Bro.
The bit. I mean,
I did,
don't even start on this shit.
I did one CrossFit workout.
Oh.
I did one.
Yeah, you were probably good at it.
No,
Right.
because like I'm used
over here.
to doing strict pull-ups and all that, but then they had me doing you have to do them like this, like, I end up hurting my shoulder because of it.
Yeah.
Oh, no
Like,
shit.
Yeah, I was like, dude, this is
You're
bullshit.
talking about uncontrolled jerky motions. Heavy weight is bad for you. Weird.
I was like, oh man, I feel really weird and all. It sucks and all. And then I just never went back.
I don't think CrossFit I think CrossFit's it'll eventually fade out.
Yeah, listen.
There's
like,
so many
now,
injuries I've seen with people who've broken their freaking neck and back.
Yeah.
hurt their
Now-
shoulders.
Now, again, one little caveat I would like to add is like, now I think that CrossFit can be beneficial in certain scenarios.
Big time.
But Steve down the street, who's 68 years old, has no business doing like the WOD of the day of like 10,000 burpees
Right,
and
Yeah.
and like push press and kipper pull-ups and all that. And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's
You're lifting a lot of weight, man, and you're lifting it. That's great.
Form is huge.
Right. Form is,
yeah.
is
Dude,
big.
Form and doing the proper
Yes.
technique is
Technique.
huge.
Right.
So not just growing muscle, but not getting hurt.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing I see.
Exactly.
I'm like, you can't just throw it up, you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who cares how heavy it is? Get the form down.
Exactly.
My favorite's when someone's like, "Oh, I could do like 35 pull-ups," and I'm like,
And they're fucking.
Yep. That's like 15.
I can do a lot of pull-ups. I feel like for me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
which I'm thinking, I don't know, like embarrassing. And then they go up there and they're like, you know,
Honestly,
like,
okay,
well, you
yeah.
extended your arms. It's just like
Yeah,
his body
dude.
just kept flailing
Here's
upward,
one
which
thing
is a cool
CrossFitters
dance move, I guess.
that
Right.
I love is they always preach that they can do anything, right? CrossFitters, we can do. And I'm like, that's cool. And I was at.
we're the fittest on earth.
Yeah, they say the fittest on earth, right? And if you do CrossFit, good for you.
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
You're out there
I'm
doing
just gonna-
something. You know, I mean, look, all bullshit aside, you're out there getting after
You're
it.
getting
Good
after
for
it.
you.
Yeah.
And not
exactly.
everyone
Yeah.
is boasting, but there's a lot that used to. Maybe some still do. But I remember, you guys know, I do a lot of extended cardio stuff. 50-mile
Yeah.
runs, triathlons. I'll cycle 100 miles.
Right.
I remember going to this triathlon. It was local.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was a Olympic distance triathlon.
Yeah.
And I remember I was in the second wave behind the pros to go just because my times were good, whatever. So I had to start behind the pros.
He's
Let's
good.
go.
Hey,
Let's
No,
go.
I don't want to brag. but I'll brag for you, Tim. Tim, you're really good.
Here's the great part, right? I hear there's like these group of guys. And dude, just meathead CrossFitters. And they're saying how we're gonna crush this triathlon, this and that. We're CrossFitters, we can do anything, da da da. And I was like, you guys have no clue what you're in store for right now. You have no idea. It was an ocean swim. One fucking mile.
Oh, yeah. That'll change. things.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dense muscle is hard to.
I was gonna say, all
keep
that muscle?
afloat.
Right. Nope. So I specifically, they're about to start my wave. I stepped back and I told one of the his, hey, like I need to use the restroom, this and that. Can I go to the next wave? Yeah, you're fine. I did that specifically because I wanted to be right fucking next to him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you exactly what you're not fucking ready for.
Yeah.
Crushed him.
Yeah.
Two quit in
Yeah.
the swim, dude. Another quit in the freaking bike, and only one finished.
Damn.
If you haven't,
and when they were in the parking lot, they were dead quiet.
yeah, I'd be like, hey, what time? Never mind.
Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, what time is it?
What happened, guys? Because it doesn't make you. Whatever you're doing, you have to specifically train for. I can't go into as much as I don't like CrossFit, I'm not going to go into a gym and say I'm the best at CrossFit because I'm great at doing triathlons or I can run 50 miles or cycle 100 miles.
Right.
I'm not going to do good at it
Train
because
specific.
I'm not training for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Specific
I'm
training.
specifically training for extended endurance.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why, I have a lot of friends who do CrossFit. It's not like I hate it, but it's the few that keep saying, "Oh, I'm tough. I can do anything because I CrossFit."
It's the demeanor of the people is what
Right.
it is.
Right.
Because
And-
it's like, look, if you're best, if you like to do push-ups, right, and like like what I don't know, take anybody right that is like into it, and you're like, you can do 1,000 push-ups, which is a lot of push-ups.
Right.
And it's like, cool. I train every day to do this, but when you talk to someone about it, your actions of how you deliver that information of like, I'm the shit because I could do this, that's when people are going to start going, that's dumb, and I think that's what that was. Especially there was that boom. All of a sudden it was just everywhere. There's CrossFit gyms opening up and like, great, awesome, cool. People working out, getting healthy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was the demeanor that was associated with it where like, if you're not in, you're out. And I just don't adhere to that ever. Like, I can't stand when people are like that. And it doesn't matter if you're doing CrossFit, if you're doing Pilates, if you're doing fucking whatever. I could give a shit. But if you talk to me like I'm less than you because I don't adhere to your program, then I'm like, well, you're kind of a...
It's the cult, bro.
Yeah.
It's the cult. That's what it is. That's
Yeah.
what it is, man.
Dude, and actually, it's funny because one, it is a cult. Fuck that shit. But also, sorry, I'm cussing a lot today.
I like
I
it.
get it, bro.
Jordan had
I'm
it
very
last time.
passionate.
Yeah, Jordan had it last time. Jordan was
Man,
doing good.
all right, so you just passed the torch off to me. It's like,
Yeah, I was like, hey, you want to be the angry one today?
Yep. I got this Santa hat on. I'm supposed to be jolly, but that jolly turned to anger.
Yeah,
It's like,
CrossFit?
But you know what? Regardless of what it is, like again, like what you're just saying, like CrossFit, even okay, like the bodybuilding community too. Like again, there are those assholes out there that like think that they're better because they have bigger muscles, or even some powerlifters and all. And again, there's just assholes everywhere in each type of fraction of fitness and all. But CrossFit just seems to be just a little bit more.
There's a guy at the gym who got we were working out on duty.
Yeah.
And he came. He could tell he's like, he was definitely like a lifter going in for the for the posing and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, he was so full of himself, jacked.
Yeah.
Not me. And I remember he comes because we have our fire gear on our shirt, working out.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I was so you work for the fire department? I'm thinking, yeah, idiot. Like I have the shirt on. Of course, I'm a
huge
fire department.
fan.
No shit.
Huge fan.
No, I'm a cop. I hate fire. And he's like, well, yeah, I've been thinking about joining the getting into the fire department. What do you think? And I said, well,
What?
it takes yeah. Did you think I could do it? And I was like, well, it takes more than muscle. It takes a little bit of brains. And I walked away.
Oh, you mic dropped him like that?
Yeah, 'cause
That's
I
a
was-
weird question,
yeah,
though,
I
to
was
ask
so
someone you
annoyed.
don't know.
Yeah.
Just based on,
Well,
hey, I've been thinking about it.
because he was
what
so
do you think?
Yeah.
He was so full of
I don't
himself.
fucking know.
I don't know. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, he was so full of himself. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He thought it was
Which gym was it?
LA Fitness.
Which gym?
I'm not going to say where.
La Fitness.
La Fitness. Yeah. And I'll tell you
La
what,
Fatness.
dude,
La
this guy
Fatness.
was in the mirror the whole time.
Did you work out?
Was it the one that we used to train at?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Back in those
So
days.
yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, bro, you're not going to make it. Like,
Nope.
life is not about your looks.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for some, yeah, if you're modeling doing this, that's great.
Right.
But I hate to break it to you, your looks are going to fade. And once that's done, what are you going to do with your life?
Exactly.
Where's your ego? Like, you're going to be devastated. We all have an end date, dude, and we're all getting closer to that point, and we're all aging.
Yep.
I hate to tell you, but you're dying every day. So you better have more in your life than fucking being cool and trying to look good and have a bunch of muscle or be a model, because that's going to fade. And guess what? There's always going to be someone who looks better than you, who's stronger and more beautiful.
Always.
That's life. It moves forward. So you better get some shit under your belt, because you're going to have a lot of regret if you don't.
Yeah.
A lot.
Is anyone else depressed?
Right? Shit, man. Better make a lot of money.
Merry Christmas.
You're right, Tim. You're right.
Yeah.
Memento.
Because that, honestly, of all things, that stuff kind of bugs me a lot.
It does.
When people are so into their looks, I'm thinking, what are you going to do when it's over? And you still got 30 to 40 years left of your life, and you're aging, and you're not in your prime anymore. You're going to have a hard time.
They're not thinking about that.
Yeah.
But that being said, going back to Liver King so we can end that and go to the next one real quick, I think there's a misconception with steroids as well. I know a lot of people think that you just inject it and boom, you're big. And this is me. I'm not supporting it. But he did have to put in a lot of work to get to that point. He still had to eat properly. He still had to lift all the time.
Yeah.
So for Liver King to get to where he was, he still put in work. He
Oh yeah, no. Like again, like as far as like work ethic goes, like again, hats off to him.
Your
like,
steroids
one
don't
of the
just
hard-
make you big.
I mean, again, even like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Mr. Hardest Worker in the room, and all that. I'm like, let's be
takes
real. That
steroids,
guy.
dude.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, but
he's getting older and looks better.
Yeah, no,
bro.
he's like
Yeah.
in like peak form. And here's the thing: it's like he was like,
HGH,
dude. Like, I don't think HGH. I
don't think so?
No,
I
no,
think he's on a
he's on
handful
HGH.
of
Spirit
supplements.
cooking. Dude, spirit cooking.
Yeah, spirit.
Oh, here we go.
So here's the thing with again the Rock, and then we'll move
Conspiracy
on.
theory,
Yeah,
dude.
move like the Rock, and then move on. But like he,
Children's blood.
quite. Oh my god.
It's adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome. There you go.
His thing about basically like he did like a interview with like Men's Health and all that, and it's like, oh, why do you work out? Is like his main focus is longevity. It's like, no, the fuck, it's not.
Nope.
Dude.
No.
Nope.
It's like, I don't know who you're kidding here. Like, listen, Rock, I like you. You're like, you were my idol growing up, but sometimes you just spill some bullshit, and this is one of those times. So please, like, stop saying that you're going for longevity when clearly you're trying to look like Mr. Olympia with Black Adam.
I was gonna say
So,
Black Adam,
yeah.
but
So
longevity doesn't.
like a
Huge, huge, bro.
Huge.
Oh
He's
my
huge.
god.
Don't get me wrong. Amazing physique. Amazing physique.
Yeah,
Again,
no
the
doubt.
hard work that you put in, he is the hardest worker in the room. But
Of course, when you're making millions.
yeah. But like again, it's like, be honest with the people. You're the man of the people, right? You're the people's champ, Rock. Be honest with the people.
Dude, here's the thing. When
Hey, I take a bunch of steroids and I
know.
work my ass off so I could look like this. So I can
He can't-
provide
here's the
for
thing,
the
though.
future, and I'm on a market. Hey, there you go. How many people are going to go? I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I mean, I can't watch your shit. I can't
Steroids.
listen to you. I can't look at you. It's like, no, he's still gonna be awesome.
His
and
nip
he's
sells.
gonna be popular, and he's he's charismatic, and he hits all the fucking checks all the boxes of being why he is who he is.
Yep.
But like, just don't fucking lie about it, and you don't have to spill the bullshit like you're saying. I mean, it's funny. Joe Rogan like made a comment about him, and he's like, "Come on." And it's like, good.
You can't
That's
get
so
to
weird.
where
Everything's like,
I know. You
Joe
can't-
Rogan said it, so.
Dude, it's okay to say. But physically, like people don't understand to look like the Liver King and the Rock. It's not natural. You naturally cannot get there. You're gonna have to have something aid you to get there.
Especially-
There's no way. If you look at the old school bodybuilders,
Well,
they were nowhere near what this shit looks
Dude,
like.
well, actually, so Ronnie Coleman.
I was gonna say
Ronnie
Ronnie Coleman
before he started taking steroids was
Pre-steroids.
still like a fucking
Huge.
unit.
Well,
Like
it's huge.
was-
He was.
Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it known that African American men can build muscle faster?
Wait,
Yes, well,
Sam,
right?
Sam,
Genetically.
what did I say when I was pouring my coffee?
What did you say?
What
You
did I
said
say?
you were pouring your coffee
I was-
black and strong, baby.
It's like I
how
like
we
my
do it,
coffee.
baby.
I like my coffee. How I like my
Black
Sam.
and strong. Hell yeah.
No,
baby.
but-
black and
Hold on,
strong.
though.
My man.
Hey,
my
my
man.
man.
Sam, I'm being serious. Though.
Yeah.
Isn't that a genetic thing, right?
No, I've
African
heard
American
it.
men can't build.
Bro, I've heard it.
I
I've
won't
heard
be
some
weighing
of it.
in on this conversation.
Right. I mean, I've heard it.
I mean, I'm out.
Somebody Google it.
I mean, yo, bro, I have heard it. I have heard it, but I'm not gonna say like, well, we have a some type of upside, like we can, I don't know. I'm not gonna go there, But yes, sure. I mean,
gonna go there,
hey,
but
bro,
yeah.
I get big quick, So I don't know, but no,
Sam, you are jacked. So
I appreciate you, man.
So I don't believe that you're
Well-
saying you're not natural.
Well, Evan's
After
jacked.
today's conversation, also Evan is jacked.
Evan's jacked too. You got some black in you, bro?
I mean, I
Want some? Hey.
Like,
Not for me, obviously. but-
Not for me either. You see what I'm saying? Obviously.
You can get it from me, buddy. I got 15 inches for you.
15?
I'm kidding. Wow. Dude, if you
That's
Google
what you
this,
fall back on when you start looking old. You're like, it's still massive.
if you Google this, you guys, African American, there's a lot of people who ask this.
Yeah, man.
it's a trending topic. Trending topic.
Sounds like an old man in the room. Like, well, they're faster and stronger.
White
know,
man.
it
Yeah,
is-
right? I was like, it sounds like an old white guy like thing. Was like, well, they're stronger.
Yep.
You're like,
Sounds
okay.
like the
Maybe
movie
I-
Get Out. Yeah, bro.
doesn't-
Right, totally.
Jordan, it doesn't help you when you said that. It's like you're wearing the classic
Oh,
like
man,
and
mustache.
the
I'm like,
mustache.
yeah, you
and
know.
the
Hat, yeah.
you know. Like I said,
guys
more
get
dog.
So, damn it. There you go. Real quick. It doesn't have anything to do with it's more genetics. The more fast twitch fibers you have, the larger your musculatures.
Yo, Bill Burr has a good stand up on this.
does he?
About, yeah.
Oh,
He talks
Bill
about
Burr,
yeah, man. It's pretty funny. He talks about the some announcer that's talking about the fast twitch and the slow twitch and the fast twitch is why these black people, and then he's like fired the next day.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
fast twitch. And
Yeah.
so what are you talking about? Yeah, bro. But yeah. Anyways, no. I mean, for sure. Sure. Yeah.
Well, to go back to the beginning
Somebody
of
told me
this,
that.
Ronnie Coleman was a brick shithouse, dude, before he got into, like, did you see the old pictures when because he's a cop, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like, dude,
Huge.
his arms were like bigger than his fucking head,
Bro,
dude.
if I
He's just like, can you imagine like getting stopped by that dude? I'd be like, yes,
but reality-
yes to anything.
Yes.
Do you know why I pulled you over? Doesn't matter. What do you think I did? I believe you.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, but dude, you can
Don't
run
eat
away
me.
from him. He's not going to chase.
I was gonna say you could run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you can. His whole I think there's only like 2 separations of vertebrae that aren't fused together in his back.
Yeah.
Like that poor dude is like.
Well,
I
dude,
mean,
look at what
He regrets
Don't get me
nothing,
wrong.
though.
Wow.
He regrets nothing.
he shouldn't.
Well, he's
Yeah.
a millionaire. Of course he doesn't regret it.
Man,
Of course.
Like, but
Can you imagine looking-
one of the greatest of all time.
I'd take
If not
30
the
years of
greatest.
looking like that for the rest to be
Dude,
hobbled.
he's
Lightweight, yeah.
Dude, okay,
Dude.
you know that
Yeah, bro.
there's a YouTube dedicated to just him yelling out the phrases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And it's like
I
2
listened to
hours.
it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, there's like
love
2 hours of it.
Oh, no shit.
I am myself up going to the gym.
Hey, buddy. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk
I like
about
him.
before we
He's
get out of here,
fucking
guys.
cool.
So dope.
Yeah.
So dope.
So SBF arrested.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
FTX, or this is for about the FTX, which is cryptocurrency, right?
Right.
Yes.
Jordan, what do you got? Hey, it's the last one.
Okay, so we actually had talked about this because this is like about a month ago. This is when the shutdown of FTX.
A lot of people lost some money. Bro.
Yeah, so
Tommy Brady.
yeah, I mean, just to name a couple, right?
Yeah.
There's some heavy hitters that are involved with that.
Fuck that guy.
But that's what we talked about, right? The implications of like them going bankrupt. All of a sudden, now there's all this unaccounted money. The things moving around. There was the ties into this company making campaign donations for political reasons, and to the it was to both. But
okay.
so it was to both. It
wasn't
both
just
Democratic and Republican parties.
I didn't know
But as that started to go forward, because there was actually a handful of the people that took money from FTX came forward. So it was like 20 grand, 40 grand, and I'm not saying any money is good if this is what the point of this was for.
Right.
But that was because of the implications of possibly some of the money that was being sent to like the Ukraine might have made its way back into that and now
It did a full circle.
right. So but the one so this was like 2 days ago, or this was before or maybe 3, whatever, but before the arrest, it was like there was some numbers getting thrown out there that was like tens of millions of dollars being donated to Democratic funding for campaign stuff. Now this guy's arrested. Right, so he's arrested down in the Bahamas, and that's where this.
What's
story,
his name, by the way?
It's
Sam
SBF.
Sam
Bankman.
Sam
Fried.
Bankman-Fried.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like a money launderer, doesn't it?
Right?
Yeah.
Bankman-Fried.
So
What is your case? Like, I did it.
The thing was about that was that like I guess like he was doing this from the get-go. Like he was like laundering money and like defrauding investors from the get-go, from like early back as 2019.
Wow.
So and then pretty much all of his wealth that he accumulated was basically based off of fraud. And so like he basically cheated a bunch of people out of their money, and then bought like lavish stuff in Bahamas for him and his parents and everything. So all this stuff is like he's and then also using that money to play, like basically bet it on like the system or something like that with the other company that he has, like was it Almadia? Something A.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know the name.
But basically, and then like it all fell out from beneath him, basically. So he like bet wrong, and it's all coming out now.
Yeah, but where this ties in though is that now he's under arrest, right? So because at first they couldn't find him, now they've got him. Now that he's arrested, but he's arrested in the Bahamas, right? And then there was a talk of, is he going to be expedited to the United States for a stand trial for these actions?
Right.
Well, it doesn't sound like the expedition to the United States is a thing. They're keeping him in the Bahamas. And now this is where all the conspiracy stuff jumps in. You start seeing the memes of like Hillary Clinton with the mustache.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll be your prison guard. You know what I mean? And because again, another like heavy hitter financially, if you will, that has implications to a lot of like a elite status people.
Yeah, the DNC,
right? Well, I mean, yeah, a number of things, right? So you have a guy who now is in a corner, right? Mm-hmm. What is he going to do? You don't do that. You don't build your prosperity on screwing people out of stuff or extorting people out of stuff and not being able to get caught. It took him years. What do you say, 2012 is when this started?
2019.
Or 2019?
Yeah.
Okay, so over a couple years, you're telling me this guy doesn't have insight on some shit,
right?
You know what I mean? So
No, he's not feeling suicidal.
Well,
probably not.
Epstein did kill himself.
I don't know if you've shown your sweater to the shirt, but forever, dude, forever.
So as far as what was it? One thing that is like that he didn't do himself any favors though, because like he kept on like going on like media and everything to like pretty much like talk about it and everything like against the advice of his lawyers, which I'm like, I was like, okay, for as much as this guy being like a perceived genius, he's stupid as fuck.
I try to tell people that shut your mouth.
Yeah, and
when you're in trouble with the police or something goes on, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
And it's like,
lawyers try to say that all the time. Don't say a word. That's it.
Yeah, and then like it basically is like, how do you feel about like wasting away someone's like life savings? Like, well, I'm sorry, that's bad. And then it's like, oh, but I'm not the bad guy here at all.
What?
Yeah. If you actually watch some of these interviews and all that, it's so cringy because it's like, dude, you are stupid. You are like you are grade A stupid.
Yeah.
And all
Fuck
that.
you.
Yeah.
It makes you think like it makes you think like how'd you do it? How did that person be able to connive like people with money
Right.
to make a bunch of money for yourself?
Right.
Makes me feel stupid.
Right,
I'm like,
dude.
damn, I
Well,
feel like I'm not that dumb.
And
I could,
I don't know if you said this too, but
but I also have a soul.
the
so.
day he got arrested in the Bahamas, he was supposed to testify over like Zoom or some shit like that, right? Wasn't he supposed to go before
there was something
committee or something?
Yeah, and it got shut down, and then they had him detained, like, or they put him back in, like, whatever.
Now,
their
here's
special
conspiracy theory,
detainment
right? Is it because he was going to say too much?
Yeah, dude.
Right? Oh,
He's
well, let's get him
already
arrested.
publicly. We already know, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everything you just talked about. Like, he's dumb when it comes to
How convenient is all this, though, dude? He's arrested. He was supposed to testify before whoever, some committee or Congress, whatever, and then he's in the Bahamas. How easy is it going to be for them to terminate this guy? Let's just say
pretty
put
fucking
those
easy.
words.
And then coincidentally, the evidence locker of a 30-year deal, not evidence locker, an evidence warehouse
Okay.
of all this stuff burns down.
I just read about
Not
this,
saying
right?
it is, but-
So this is a 3-alarm fire in New York, and it was one of the evidence warehouses that NYPD has. There's 2. And they said the fire department, the chief said it was hard to access because the limited openings. It's so well like guarded, right? You don't want to have a lot of doors and windows, I would imagine,
Right.
in an evidence warehouse. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But they said it was a deep-seated fire, and contractors who were working in there said, yeah, it was. It started on a shelf. Look at him, dude! I'm like,
Started
yo,
on a
It was
shelf.
just like someone going
come on, dude. Exactly.
Right.
down right here.
No shit.
Hey, we're gonna take a break. Get out of here. All of a sudden,
my
you guys still smoke? Be like, no, I don't at all. That's so weird.
I mean,
Are you
come
hungry?
on.
I'm hungry. Yeah.
I don't, dude. This is crazy. They're saying everything. There's partial collapse of the building. They said everything's damaged in there.
Oh my god.
They're pretty much lost. How many people
And all
are going to
that
get
water
off
and
because of that?
foam
Right.
and everything that's
Oh,
gonna
my
destroy it's all done, dude. All of it is gonna be, unless it's like hard drives maybe could be wiped or to be salvaged, depending on. I'm just going off of a little experience with what you can salvage from massive fires. But I was thinking like a joke. But like, I bet Trump's like, please, my tax returns. And he's like, I don't have to deal with this shit no more.
Damn, but how many people do you think are waiting in jail on trial and their evidence is in there? That's going to screw up
Dude,
a
I
lot.
wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking
yeah.
like all the bullshit conspiracy
right,
stuff. Like
yeah.
people who are like, what do you mean? Like my evidence of getting out of this bullshit case, or maybe they've been in jail for a few years.
So how does that? But there's a lot. I thought about. Like, how does that work for someone who's on trial for murder
Yeah.
or aggravated assault or steal? I don't know. And there's evidence like a bloody shirt or pants or a shoe for a footprint gone.
Yeah.
So now does that family get? There's
Right.
no justice for the family.
No, but-
how can you prosecute this person if the evidence is gone?
Because of exactly the mental process that I just displayed on for everybody, which shows you how shallow I was in that situation. I was only thinking of big picture stuff, all the implications of someone exactly what you just stated, that their livelihood is going to depend on that one little vial of something that they have in a lockup.
Gone.
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 Yeah, we don't think about that.
Even
And
cars.
everyone else is going to, or most people will probably go, huh,
And you know that place?
Yep.
Dude,
sucks.
that place
Yeah,
was.
exactly.
you know, I'll be like, hey, did you hear Twitter to this? And you're like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And you can
Shit.
see that
Right.
fire.
Yeah.
You can see
Anyway,
that
what do you
fire
want
for
for lunch?
miles. I mean, dude, they had impounded cars, e-bikes, shelves
Wow.
of stuff. I mean, dude, the fire load in there with limited access. That thing, that's ridiculous.
Inside job is crazy.
But anyways, guys, thanks so much for not just coming on and doing our December month review. It's the last one for the year.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say, just again, thank you so much for being part of the podcast. We made it through another year. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of growth. Next year is going to be good. I think it's going to be really good, actually, because we're going to move this thing upstairs, which I need you guys. We're going to get a date to move all the stuff up. But
Right on.
all that to say, thank you so much, you guys. Seriously, it's been awesome with our guests, our monthly reviews. Now we're getting the story time stuff going, and it's just building. It's really great to see, and I couldn't do it without you guys.
Yeah, man.
Fuck yeah.
So
man.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And thanks again, buddy. Like this, all this, like this is awesome. And dude, honestly, like I really enjoy my time being here with you guys and all that stuff. Yeah. Just great.
Really enjoy my time with you.
Yeah.
Come here too.
I know we're going down the line, but no, man, dude, like you said, I know you were joking about it earlier, but this is the majority of all this is piggybacked on you and your hard work that you put into this.
Definitely.
Big time.
And
Big time.
you know, we all have the opportunity to be on here, and it takes a team, and we all contribute in our own ways to this. But I know it takes a lot of time out of your day, and I would totally appreciate it. And I love the opportunities to be on here and have a great time doing it. It's something that I think, you know, look, we're building. I mean, shit, we started it. You know what I mean? Look where it's at now, and you know, it's you know, at least in our direct communities, it's becoming a thing. I mean, like, you know, we talk about when you know, we see people and they're talking about episodes, and you're like,
That's crazy.
whoa, this is weird to even have this conversation. But it's because the driving force behind it is you, man, and it's appreciated. And I love the opportunity that I get to be on with you guys. It's like it's fun, you know, it's fun, and I enjoy it. And if there's a you know, chance that this is a thing and moving forward and getting bigger, then hell yeah. But either way, I love being here.
Yeah, Tim. I want to say I'm grateful too. Oh, my bad, Jordan. Keep
damn
going,
it, Sam.
My bad, dude. I was
I
was getting excited, bro.
I was like,
Tim,
I know my coffee isn't the same as Evan, but I love you. Okay.
strong.
And the gift, dude. This is so rad.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And like, I'm absolutely gonna tear into that and do it because I've actually been like really wanting to journal and like try different. some
and
different things
it's
in
cool
my life.
too because it leads you, it prompts you, which I found helps a lot. Instead of just opening like, all right, what am I going to write about today?
Yeah.
Man.
So I really have really dug into doing that a lot, and it's helped me a lot, especially getting ideas and things down and just emotions in life.
Hell yeah.
So I mean, I wanted to give you guys, all of you, Jordan, Sam, Evan, something that's going to help you grow. That was my thing. What can I give these? I want something meaningful, not just give you a present that'll be thrown away. And, you know, like, what can I do to help my crew, my team grow?
Right.
So
Oh,
Hell yeah.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I'm grateful for you guys too. I'm grateful for specifically you, Tim. You've allowed me to step outside of the box, you know, and do things I've never thought about doing, you know, and then this just helps that, you know, that evolution, that constant movement through life. So yeah, man, I love that.
Hell yeah.
Evan, you're always dope, baby. Yeah, man. I love it. Yeah. It's just been dope just watching you, you know, on social media, and then now you're here, you know, at least once a month.
Yeah.
You know, so I love that. And then Jordan, man, yeah, bro, I love just the fact that I met you through Tim, you know, and now we're like good friends. Yeah. And just being able to talk to you outside of this, you know, and really experience who you are. Love
Thanks,
that, dude.
man. I don't sound just like a crazy person.
No, bro. The most down to earth.
I feel like I come across as a little aggressive sometimes, but
it's from the soul,
Thank you.
from your black soul. Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God, it happened.
I'm in.
Welcome.
you still got a small wiener.
It's average.
I'm kidding.
Oh, man.
Love you guys.
I love you too, man. Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
Well, fuck, next year, huh? We're doing it.
We're doing it.
Yeah, good stuff, guys. Love you, dudes. This is our last Let's Go of 2022 as a group.
Damn. 2023 is coming.
It's
Get
coming
it.
fast.
Michael's
bro.
here.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I think we got great things in store, and we need to start filming more outside stuff like we used to. So we'll talk about that. Anyways,
Get it.
Let's go on 3. You guys ready?
Let's get it.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Let's go.
Bye, everybody. And that's it. Thank you for listening in, everybody. I'd like to thank our sound engineer who makes this podcast happen and makes us sound very good, Stephen Clark. And to our first sponsor, 89 Barbers. Look good, feel good, be great. Come get your haircut at 2 locations, Long Beach and in Orange, California. Your appointment can be booked at 89barbers.com. That is EIGHTNINEBAB. BARBRERS. 89barbers.com. Again, look good, feel good, be great. Check it out. It's my barber. He is the man. Thanks, everybody. Bye.